Hey guys, thought I'd do a rabbit update real quick. Went to the swap meet last weekend and got rid of the mini Rex doe. The reason being is she just wasn't a meat doe, and all I have is this little lot buck. And he's not little, but I just call him little because he's young. Lot buck, and that's why I'm breeding everything too. And it would just have been a waste with her quality. But when I went there, I sold her for good money, and I was given this white doe and these three babies, weaned babies. The person just didn't want to take them home. They asked me if I wanted to take them home, and I said sure. So I came up with more, not meaning to. But she's being bred today. That little white doe down there that I got before was bred yesterday, and then this doe here bred about a week ago. So we'll have babies coming. But I was going to show you, have a lot of people, and they get a red New Zealand, and they breed it to a white New Zealand. And that will not get you red babies. I don't know how many times I got to say that. A registered red New Zealand and a registered red New Zealand will get you red babies. A white New Zealand and a red New Zealand will get you this every time. Now this here is a beautiful rabbit. It's a little buck. He's 6 weeks old. And if I was just doing meat production, I would keep him. And if I wasn't planning on getting my reds, and I'll keep him just in case something doesn't fall through with my reds, because he's beautiful. But he is so incorrect for like showing or anything like that. And then these little, you can't see because of light, these little blacks with all this red tint to them. And then she had a couple that were salt and peppers and a couple that were different colored brown. That's what you're going to get if you breed a white red to a red red. You're not going to get whites and blacks and reds. That's not going to happen. And so please don't go out and get reds and whites and think you're going to cross them and get you some reds. It's not going to happen. I'm sure a lot of y'all have learned that the hard way, and I'm sorry that somebody hasn't told you that already. And I thought I had some of my previous videos, but maybe I didn't. You can't even breed a black to a red and get consistent reds, and it dilutes your black to a point that it looks more like this. It has a red tint to it. Only way to get good reds is red on red. Now, that being said, when I first started reds, I had pulled in some, they were like these. They were, but not this color. They were castor. If y'all remember Sarah and Checkers, my original Sarah and Checkers, they were just like a castor-looking New Zealand, that's not a color. The castor is not a color for New Zealand, but they were just a cross. And I bred that to my reds and eventually got Checkers and Chess, but that took 4 generations to get those. And so, yes, you can breed, but don't think you're going to get it real quick. It's not a real quick fix. It's going to take a couple generations, at least 3 to 4, to get all that you had to use, that diluted blood that you had to use out of your stock and get the red back. But he is a cutie. The light doesn't do justice. I'll think about silent later, but he's mainly red with a little gray on his tail and then on his sides. And these two are just light black with a red tint to them. But they were free. And this doe, wherever she is, getting bred, she's free. This little buck has been a trip. He's about 6 months old. He's just now breeding age. Real stocky little thing. That's why I like him. I mean, there's nothing special about him, but being that lot, he's real thick, and so his fryer should be real thick. Somebody asked me if I see a lot of these champagnes. No, I've never seen one before. Not saying they're not around, but when I went to the same swap meet 2 weeks ago is where I found these does, and I've never come across them before. That's kind of why I got them, even though they're past their prime. But no, I've never seen them, and somebody told me not to get too attached because I might get more attached than the reds, and that is not possible. I am a red New Zealand person and broken red. But these rabbits are really beautiful, really docile, really easy. One thing I'd say is they have an appetite more like a Flemish Giant. They eat a whole lot. I'll see how many in the litter. If it's a small litter, they'll move on. But because I couldn't get anybody else to breed when I bred her. They all let out to play in here, and so they're not stuck up in there. They all come out. Right now, today, it's this buck and that doe breeding. But usually the buck goes up and another doe comes out and gets to play. Oh, there she is. And she's a good-sized doe, too. She's a really good doe. But that's the rabbits right now. Just a little side project right now. These are just, and it's kind of like somebody would do if they were getting into them. All these I found for $10 or free, $10 or less. The babies were free. This buck was free. This doe was free. That white rabbit down there was $10, and these two were $10. You know, it's not hard to get into rabbits. And if you're just starting, this would be fine to learn. I do believe in getting pedigreed once you want performance, because I don't know what he has in him. She is pure, I know, and these two champagnes are pure. I'm not so sure about that little white New Zealand down there. She looks more like she has some Florida white in her or something. I'm not sure about her. But as the rest I know are pure. But, you know, right now I'm just playing with them. That's the fun part about rabbits, is playing with them. And so I have 4 does and a buck is what you'd call it. And then I have those 3 little friars. But I'll probably sell them before it's eating age. But if they're still here in a month, they'll go in the freezer. Or at least the 2 dark ones. I might keep the little red buck. But I'll let you go. Just going to show you the rabbits. Talk to you later.